You're trying to do things quickly and make money. Do not do this. I'm sure there are people who are obsessed with money and have a lot of it. I just don't see it like lasting.
When you're just going after something that means something to you, I feel that will just generate value and the money will come.
Welcome to the Get Paid to Live podcast, where we navigate the real-time thoughts, feelings, and actions on this unique quest to intentionally designing and curating a life where we live first and get paid second.
Damn.
This is not a podcast about money. It's actually something much larger than that. That's
Right.
just something I want to make known. But now that we're calling it Get Paid to Live, I don't think I have to explain that.
Yeah, you don't have to say that.
Yeah.
But we can rant about money. What
You can have
is
$1
money
and
to
be...
you?
Money is access.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you think about your answer?
I did.
What is it?
Money is a distraction.
Ooh. So you have like a negative connotation with it.
Money is also a signal.
You're going to say sickness.
No, I'm not that anti-narco-capitalist Parmesan.
What the fuck? Is that Succession talk?
There are two sides to this. Okay. Money is a distraction in that if you allow yourself to get hyper-focused on it, you're going to probably end up somewhere that you don't necessarily want to be, unless money is your ultimate objective. And there are people out there, like a lot of people in finance, you know, they get into finance because their objective is to make as much money as humanly possible.
But what are they actually trying to make?
I think some people actually, that is their mission. Most people, however, I don't think money is their mission. Their mission is whatever, you know, cure cancer, to
right. That's a lot of people's mission.
Get paid to live, unlock human potential.
Yeah.
You know, people have all sorts of missions.
The people in finance, though, they're trying to make a lot of money to do what?
I don't know, because I haven't met anyone that is necessarily like this. But I mean, I just hear, people that run hedge funds and they get into that because they want to have a bigger number in the bank account than the next guy. Like, that's their thing.
And that's I think that's just like status and power. And that's...
Yeah, for sure.
That, like, money is a tool. It's just a means to an end for something that people, like, we all recognize money as something that is, like, gives you those things. What? Why are you laughing?
Because we're just doing the whole episode.
No plan, no outline. It's kind of like a degree. It's like what people recognize, like a college degree. They're like, oh, yeah, okay, you're smart. If you have that piece of paper, you're smart.
Proof.
Yeah, social proof.
Economic proof kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it becomes a distraction, I think, for most people when money is not the mission. Yeah. However, it kind of blinds them and derails them from the journey and trajectory that they're actually pursuing and actually trying to go on. So that's where it's a distraction. And then more practically, it's a signal, kind of like what you're saying. It's like a degree. It's like the social proof. It's like, okay, you're onto something, because like in business and entrepreneurship, money is a signal, because if people are willing to give you money, strangers are willing to give you money, that's a sign that you're onto something. That's a signal from the environment. Right.
Which is that, that's why I think it's access. And it could be negative or positive. Like you were saying, it's access to maybe status and power, which some people can argue is wrong or bad or whatever. Or it could be access to freedom, access to family, access to the world, clothes, whatever. Honestly, anything tangible is just like a means to an end. Like, even if you wanted the money to buy clothes, like someone would be like, oh, well, maybe they're just a fashion clothes person. They're like, I want, to buy as many clothes as possible. But like, okay, what's the deeper reason for that? What do clothes make you feel? Because you're putting the meaning on the item, just like with money. So it's like, oh, the clothes make you feel like this. If you have like Louboutins, you're like, well, I feel really sexy in these shoes. And it's just like, okay, well, so the branding is working. And then 2, you are able to feel sexy through the shoes, but it's really just a feeling. How to unlock feeling sexy or X feeling without the tangible item? It's hard. I don't know the answer, but I feel like that's a lifelong journey of like feeling things without the thing.
That reminds me of just like makes me think of a Buddhist monk or Buddhist temple. It's like you you unlock this level of like self-actualization that you can kind of like will feelings into existence without the external stimuli.
Right. Which, honestly, I'm not trying to sound like better than you or anything.
You're better than me?
but I'm going to say what I'm going to say. You can make that judgment. I'm not going to tell you straight up that I'm better than you, but I've had visions about being a monk. I kind of like this talk about money, though, because I think it's, even though we just said that we don't want to address the money issue about this name, I think it's actually a really good starting point because it's almost like a meta thing. We are not doing anything we're doing right now because of money, like primarily because of money.
Right. If I wanted money, I would have stayed at Toyota.
I didn't know we were calling people out.
If your only quantity that you're taking into consideration in decision making is money, I don't think entrepreneurship is the best approach.
Yeah.
Because when you weight the potential upside by the probability of it actually happening, it's probably doesn't work out.
The math isn't mathing.
Yeah, the math isn't
Girl
mathing.
math, boy math, it's not working.
Right.
Honestly, if you are trying to make money quickly, Sam's Club, Costco, Chipotle are paying very well. I'm not even kidding. They're paying like $20 an hour. You know, I've heard. My point is, you're trying to do things quickly and make money. Do not do this. There are so many other options, like literally anything. We're just in the beginning. We don't even know the half of it. I kind of like this.
This is the 0th episode.
We're not here to talk about the fantasy of entrepreneurship and like, well, don't get me wrong, I'm a fantasy girl. I'm a Pisces. I'm a dreamer. But like, I'm not here to talk about how to make money faster. And I don't want people to get that idea from the title.
If you want to make money faster, if he says work at Chipotle.
If they want to sponsor this podcast, I'm not going to stop them. I feel like if I do have a skill or strength in anything, well, skill, that's debatable. Long shot. That's a stretch goal. But I feel like I do have a positive relationship when it comes to money. And it's not that I want to like say, ew, if you want money, get out of here. I like money. I don't think anything's wrong with it. I have a very neutral / positive relationship with it. Yeah. I just think that we should talk about it less as like, I'm going to die without it, even though that is the case, but more like a kind of nice to have, because whether we like it or not, I know we need it for survival. Whether we like it or not, the people who have more of it don't think about it. They don't think about it often. And I don't think that's a coincidence. You can't make money the center of your life and expect to be extremely rich.
I mean, I see what you're saying. Generally,
I think if anything is like the center, any physical thing is the center of your life, I don't think that's a good way to live.
I mean, it's hard to like, I'm sure there are people that obsess about money and have a shitload of it. I'm sure there are people that obsess about money and have none of it, you know?
Yeah.
But I see what you're trying to say. Like when you're super focused, obsessed with something, it's typically counterproductive.
Yeah. And like, okay, I'm sure there are people who are obsessed with money and have a lot of it. I just don't see it like lasting. And maybe that's the key difference. Like, I don't think it lasts. When you like, because like the tighter you hold on to something, it usually disappears because you're choke holding it.
I feel like the tighter you hold on to something, the more it like holds you back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, let me correct myself. Successful people who are rich and keep their money, or let's say have wealth, I feel like they have a let go, loose kind of situation when it comes to their thoughts on it. They're not focused on it. Like, that's the point. They're thinking about what's making them the money, not the physical money.
Right. I do resonate with this idea of like when you're just going after something that means something to you.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to make a business work. You're trying to pursue a mission. A lot of times I feel that will just generate value and the money will come.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that's just our philosophy when it comes to business.
I used to have like a naive version of being an entrepreneur before. Like, it was very money focused. Like, not like I was obsessed with it, but it was more like, I want to have a lot of money. Entrepreneurship can do that for me. So one day I just want to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't really have a mission. I didn't really care to change anything or whatever. And I think lately when I went through something, I like quit my job during COVID, had to like discover myself, started freelancing all by myself. Like when I had a really challenging situation, I was able to identify a problem. Like, I think that's like the first part of entrepreneurship. You need to identify that there's a problem somewhere so you can fix it. And if you're identifying a problem that's maybe like not original and your aim is to make a lot of money, I just feel like it's not fulfilling. It's not fruitful, and you're probably not going to do it for long. It's the same way I feel about niching.
Yeah.
It's going to work, but for how long? You know?
I mean, there are definitely people that they get into entrepreneurship just for the money and they find success. But I find most people that they get into entrepreneurship with like this get rich quick scheme. Like, let me do this drop shipping thing. Let me do this.
Don't get me started
thing.
On our
let me do this NFT thing.
Crypto Forex.
You know, kings. I mean, there are definitely people that they do that. They find that they love it and then they find a lot of success with it.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't love it and they still find success with it. But I feel a lot of people, when they kind of go in for the wrong reasons, like there's no like intrinsic motivation there, it's easy to give up. It's not that it's impossible to succeed. It's just easy to give up.
Yeah.
And entrepreneurship is all about like not giving. It's basically surviving, just sticking around long enough to get lucky enough to be successful. It's like that one thing that just kind of like this silly little business that you're running, and then like one thing happens and it kind of makes you legit, kind of gets you to that next level. And I think that's all entrepreneurship is. It's almost like a series of like unpredictable events that kind of level you up to the next thing. Yeah. And then you just keep doing that.